So here's our winner of our last match with a pretty good unit composition. He is
Creator Prime We.
CreatorPrime.we. Everybody's using those mouse punchies these days. I gotta get one of those. Pretty cool. Here's our blue Terran player over at the 9 p.m. position. 9 p.m. It's nighttime on Metalopolis.
Slayers Young.
And nighttime is when the Ryungs come out to win games. There he is.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, there's fog of war everywhere. It's very dark out.
It's not enough to just choose which clock position they're at. You have to choose what time of day, AM or PM.
The street lights are on, so that's an indication it's night.
Time to go out to the bars on Metalopolis.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought Ryung had won a game. I was like, oh, it's gonna go to game 3, and I was like, wait a minute. No, let's just go to game 2.
You're such a Slayers fanboy, Molchat.
Maybe I am.
You really are.
Maybe I am.
Admit it. Admit it. It's okay.
We have the ultimate Slayers fangirl here in the audience. Slayers Rebecca?
Slayers Jessica.
Jessica. Oh,
yeah.
Fail. I hope she doesn't hear about that.
She's, of course, the biggest fangirl
really
because she's married to Boxer.
Married to Boxer.
Yep. Kind of obligated. But I think she's
She owns the team, doesn't she? Or
I think so. Something like that. I don't know.
Sella's in his house as well.
Did you just say his house?
I just said his house.
Whoa.
Noah.
Well, we'll see if the Miggity Mac Daddy is able to take a game off the wiggity whack, totally crossed out Creator Prime. Word up, Moltrap.
Word up, yo. Probe's going to get in here and see what's going on. Marine not quite out yet, so Creator's going to see the barracks, see the orbital, see the single gas.
You didn't know I was street, did you?
I did not know, man.
That's right. You would never tell by looking at me.
I didn't know you were street.
I just found out. Mom's like, there's something I have to tell you. You're actually street. I was like, what?
You are so street that you live on Metalopolis.
That's right. If I had to pick a map to live on, I would totally live on Metalopolis. It looks like the coolest place to hang out. So right now,
I'd live on dual site, man.
Dual site?
That's hardcore.
That is kind of.
I'd live on the side with the waterfalls and stuff.
Yeah, not the flame side, not the Mordor side of the map. Huh? All right.
This is Metalopolis. We do have these players in cross positions. It's a little bit smaller map. Actually, it's kind of a lot bit smaller map than Terminus Re. And the third map, Tal'Darim Altar, if it goes to that. So it means the timings are going to be a little bit more precise. It means that when one player decides to move across the map, the other's going to have less time to react. You know, if the Terran just builds up a huge ball, and by the way, this Marine just scouting around for proxies, very wise move.
Yeah, definitely.
It means that if the Terran decides to move out, Protoss is not going to have as much time to get their stuff together.
One gate robo from Creator Prime, going with a pretty bold tech opening. So we'll have to see if he decides to expand off of that, or if he decides to just add some more gateways and go one base Colossus possibly. A couple Marauders coming out right now from Ryung. I don't know if slow was researched. Check that for me, Moltrap. You've got the computer.
Let me see.
Look at the Marauders.
Yes.
Yes, they do
Custom
have it.
shells.
All right, great. So he could be able to cause a little bit of damage to that. More barracks coming out for Ryung right now, as we can see. Reaper on their way as well. That's a brilliant move by Ryung. Some Terran players are doing this now. Rather than going SCV, Marine, 2 Marauders, they are sometimes using the Reaper to gain vision for the units. They can pick off the sentry and then move up the ramp. Doesn't look like that's what Ryung is going to do this game. Looks like he's just going to be doing some scouting. But
yeah,
interesting little tidbit. If you're having some issues in TVP, that's maybe an opening you want to kind of take a look at.
He did try and run an SCV up to see what the army composition was like, and I believe, let me double check.
Did he see the robo?
He saw the robo.
He saw
yeah.
it.
So this is, and he's got the second gateway behind this. So this is maybe a little bit less safe than the kind of the 2-gate robo build, but he's going to be okay because he has sentries at the top. And he's got that second gateway. He's going to get the observer out, I believe. Yeah, observer's running across the map right now. So this is actually pretty safe because then the observer's going to see what's going on, and he'll be able to either, you know, get an expansion of his own when he spots this expansion, or, and there he goes. He's going to actually expand before he even sees what's going on, but he could cancel that if he needed to.
Yeah. I think both players in this case kind of want to get their expansions up, and nobody wants to be really that aggressive. Creator, of course, probably playing a little bit more cautiously since he does want to get this 2-0. He'd prefer it not to go to a third game. Although his opening was a little bit riskier, I suppose.
Yeah. Creator does have an Immortal out now as well, so the Marauder-heavy army of Ryung is actually probably not going to be able to put any pressure on. If you targeted down that Immortal, it could do okay, but if not, if that Mortal was microed properly, does tons of damage, 50 damage per shot to those Marauders, 3 shots Marauders.
Well, one thing that Ryung definitely could do is do that little 2-base timing and push with Bio in your first couple medevacs. And when that hits, a lot of times it ends up coming right after the first Colossus comes out. So if you micro carefully, you can handle one Colossus in the other units. So sometimes we do see Terran players doing that. Looks like there is a little bit of a move out.
Yeah, he does.
Right
Yeah,
now.
he actually just ran his Reaper in and right back out again. Took no damage, but spotted the Robo Bay half complete. So he knows that Colossi are going to be coming out in about a minute.
Yeah.
And I don't think he really has the army to take advantage of that, though, at this point. Ryung doesn't have that large of an army.
It'd be a bit risky at this point.
Especially with that Immortal there and a few sentries.
Yeah. A little bit
Not
easier on
happening.
the open ground, but yeah, it's definitely not worth the risk at this point.
Yeah, so he is just going to get, he's actually getting a starport and a reactor on the factory, and it's going to switch that up. Probably, he might start with medevacs, but then he's going to start Viking production sooner or later.
Yeah, I actually wonder if he's going to switch right into Vikings, to be honest with you, just because he does know that those Colossi are on the way. We'll have to see. Nope, getting 2 medevacs first.
That's a good move, because then they can come out first, and Protoss usually is not going to push out until they have 2 Colossi, and they wait for that Thermal Lance. So you get the medevacs first, let them save up some energy, maybe put on some pressure with drops if you want, because the Vikings can come out later and they don't have to charge up energy, obviously. So coming out later is not any different than sooner.
So the Reaper will jump in just as the first Colossus comes out. I don't know if he saw it, but he can make an assumption. There's the Colossus now.
No cliffs that way, buddy. Can't escape.
Oh.
Just scouting around, seeing what he can find out before dying, and he actually might be able to get around the back.
Oh no, turning.
Oh.
And yeah, well, there was a cliff there, but the end result would have been the same if he would have taken that avenue.
You would think that Reapers would be able to use their little jetpacks to like jump up on top of the Colossus.
Oh, like ride it?
Yeah, like ride it.
Like Shadow of the Colossus game, you like jump up and
exactly.
stab it in different
Find
places.
the magical glowing weak point on the top of the Colossus. Shoot a little grenade down there.
That game was awesome.
That game was fat.
Yeah.
With a PH. Or
PH fat. Word up. Roll trap. Whoa. I don't know what those Colossi are firing at. I completely missed it.
I don't know.
Vikings coming out right now for
and here's
Ryung,
the drop.
and here's a drop. He is a Slayer Stern after all.
Might be able to. Oh, he should go for the Robo.
Oh, he might be able to pick off the Colossus. Why are you not going after the Colossus?
Colossus fell back too far, but now he's microing back, taking a lot of damage on those Marauders. He actually might just be able to pick up and get out.
Maybe. It might not be a bad idea.
After he picks off that Stalker. Yeah.
He's
Oh,
doing
but he
a lot
might
of
go for
damage.
the Colossus.
Oh,
he's trying to pick it off. No.
Right.
He's going to get out of town.
Wow. Oh, more Bio coming in the front, though.
It's actually really good. If he can get in there and kill everything off. Oh, nope, never mind. He's falling back.
Vikings out on the field right now. Decides it's not quite the time just yet.
It's not time yet.
He is building his command center. Getting a missile turret as well. And Creator has got to be a little bit shaken up after that. He's going to want to be a little bit more careful. As you can see, he is moving those units around in his base now rather than just kind of camping them all out at the front of his natural expansion.
It's a good move given the circumstances. You know, at the front, you'd think he'd be a little bit vulnerable, but with a couple sentries and a couple Colossus, he's going to be able to hold things off long enough for his main army to get back down. And actually, he looks like he might be moving out. He's evacuated his forces from the main and is moving out with 4 Thermal Lance upgraded Colossi and a handful of sentries, which are going to be important. 3 Ghosts are in production. I think they're going to be out in time for this battle.
I don't think they're going to have EMP, though. I don't know if he researched the energy upgrade for them. I don't think he did.
No, they do not have EMP.
All right. Maybe they'll snipe some Zealots, possibly.
That's all they can do.
No
That's all they can contribute to this battle.
Looks like there aren't any Zealots in the army. SCV is being pulled. Ryung is in a little bit of trouble here. He has a decent amount of bio, but will it be enough? Here comes the fight. Stalkers leading the way. Colossi firing from behind. Nice concave for Ryung right now. Vikings going after the Colossi. One goes down. Second one getting a little bit low, but that Thermal Lance doing so well against the army of Ryung.
And the Colossi are slowly going down. He's actually not target firing the Colossi, so So those two took way too long to go down.
Yep.
And
but here's the
SCV's having to come off the line, getting slaughtered by that Colossus in the back. But it may just be
No.
enough, barely, to finish
wow.
off those Colossus. And that actually, I mean, I don't think I would have even been able to tell at the time. I don't think Creator could have told at the time. But in hindsight, it really would have been a good idea to kind of fall back from that fight before his Colossi died, because the Vikings were just A-moved. They were attack moved, so they weren't targeting Colossus. So he actually had 3 yellow Colossus at one point that were still doing damage. If he'd gone shift-click those Colossus, then they would have done a lot less aggregate damage.
I'm really, really surprised about that, actually, that he didn't target fire the Colossi. That's like the #1 rule of making Vikings is you target fire the Colossi down. And he didn't do it. And he did come out a little bit on top of that fight. The worker count is even right now before these two players, and there's the Ghost upgrade getting started right now for Ryung. Moving in to take out that unit to allow the command center to land. And it looks like Creator Prime is going to go for the gold. Probably a safe decision at this point.
Yeah, they're both taking their thirds, just traded armies. They're both going to have to go lick their wounds and
supplies
rebuild, regroup, and so they're both taking thirds. It makes sense because when you trade, you know they're not going to attack you probably. Although some Terrans are pretty. If it was ranking, I might be worried about an attack. But yeah. So Creator's going to have the gold though, so a much better short-term advantage, but in the long term, not going to be quite as good. It's going to mine out pretty quickly.
So right now,
actually, whoa, he actually canceled his gold expansion in order to warp in more units.
He's going for it.
He's going to go for the kill. He's going to go in for one more time.
He wants to
and there
win.
is not many Vikings, only 4 Vikings in the air. A lot of Marauders, though.
Here's the fight. The Colossi are about ready to move in. Are they going to do it?
He needs to get some
He's
EMPs
biding
off.
his time. I don't know if he's going to move in. I don't know if it's a good decision. Guardian Shield goes down, and that usually means he's dedicated. Is he going to do it? No.
No, and the Zealots were out of position, actually, so.
All right.
Now, here we go.
Zealots getting in position now. Here's the fight. Zealots taking a long time to get to the army. Stalkers taking down that bunker so quickly. This time the Vikings do target fire the Colossi, and they go down almost instantaneously. And the Marauders are going to do pretty well against the Stalkers, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Ryung's going to clean this up. It's just Stalkers left. And because he canceled that expansion, he's not going to have an economy to fall back to. And Ryung breaking through. Oh, this Colossus gets caught off guard. And he needed that for defense if he was going to try and stay in this game. So now, there we go. GG. And now, as I accidentally predicted, we are going to see a game 3 between these guys.
Moltrap, how do you know the future? What is this strange magic that you wield?
I, unlike Tasteless, actually did ask for these powers.
Oh, wow. And they gave them to you?
And they gave them to me. Can
they
you imagine?
almost never do that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Creator not happy with himself at all. Of course, who would be after something like that? Kind of sad, but we are going to a game 3. We're going to find out if Creator Prime can create an avenue for his own victory.
Yeah, and that was a very interesting game, very interesting battle. Some mistakes made on both sides.
Yeah, a little bit.
I got to say, though, I just want to point this out because I haven't seen a lot of players doing this. It was actually clever. He separated the Zealots out off to the side, so they come in around the top and left 1 sentry with them so he could Guardian Shield the Zealots.
That's what you got to do.
Usually they just kind of like keep their sentries together and they hit G and it doesn't do any good because they're just guarding the Colossi in the back or something.
When I hotkey my Protoss army, it's Zealots and Sentries on 2, and then Stalkers on 3, Colossi on 1. You can micro them all individually. Because you want the Sentries and the Zealots to stick together, you know? Yeah. There you go. That's my hotkeys. I hope you like them.
You are unlike a lot of top-level Protoss players who just keep their whole army on 1. Although someone told me the other day that they'll keep their army on 1, and then like right before a big battle, they'll like re-hotkey to do stuff.
There's some people that like control-click units too and move them that way. That works okay, but
it's not as good as hotkeys.
I
think that's something we're going to probably see a lot. I mean, this game is new. A lot of players are still getting used to it. I don't know. I'm not a pro, but I think that's probably something we'll see in the evolution.
Well,
yeah.
We'll
anyway, we are going to go to Game 3. It's going to be on Tal Darim Altar.
It's a big fat
which
map.
Which is a big fat map.
That's right.
Your map's so fat that
that wasn't my intent. But thanks for going that direction.
Yeah, it's a very, very large map, and we did see Creation do rather well on large map on Terminus Re the first game. Ryung doing a little bit better with the close quarters of Metalopolis.
Yeah.
So might be a
We'll
little
see
bit
what
of an
happens.
advantage for Ryung. But,
Well, there's certainly a lot of opportunity to drop on a map like Tal'Darim Ultra. There's a lot of places for medevacs to go that won't be scouted. I mean, like you said, it's a huge map, so a lot of room to fly around. And I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Both of these guys, they are a little bit newer too. So, we are seeing a couple mistakes made by each of them. Obviously, they don't make a lot of mistakes if they made it to Code A. But I think they both definitely, of the players we've seen today, they have some work to do.
They have some work to do. There were a little bit, some misclicks here and there. Some, slight, just maybe they don't have the APM to well, they should at this point. But anyway, I think the point that we can take from that is the fact that I think whoever brings their A game, these guys seem really evenly matched.
Yep.
And whoever is actually going to bring their A game and not make those tiny mistakes is going to get the edge to win this last game to get into the up and down matches in the round.
I think they should bring their S game.
They should bring
A game only gets this far.
You're
they
right.
need their S
Exactly.
game, Mold Trap.
They got this far with their A game.
That's
now we see who has the S game.
S game. That's right. Just like a DDR game, we've got S class. Dance Dance Revolution. You never played that?
I've played it. Is there an S class in that also?
Yeah, that's like if you do well, you get an A. If you do extremely well, you get S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like ninjas in Naruto.
I don't know as much about that. I watched it a little bit.
All right. Anyway, let's find out what happens between the two StarCraft players
That's
in
right.
the next match.